I'm checking Reddit right now. There's a horse. I don't know. What's going on in the world of news? I was looking for news. There's nothing mattered. I don't know.
That's because nobody cares about anything.
But
Nothing's news anymore.
Yeah, Expendables 3 might be made.
Really?
But only if it makes enough money, I guess. And
did it do good?
it made like $28 million, which isn't super great. So
No.
I feel bad. We should have gone.
Especially because of all the star power they have in it.
Right, like 100
So
million.
that's probably enough to pay for most of them.
Yeah.
So that's good.
It might have international traction because it's like, oh, Jet Li's in it, and then a certain part of the world will be excited about that.
What part?
What? Asia.
Yeah.
All of it.
All of it?
Yeah, all of Asia will be like, stoked! I love this guy. Breaks necks. He's breaking all these big, burly American men's necks. You know?
Yeah.
And then, like, yeah, who else? Like, what else we got? Belgium, you got Jean-Claude.
Okay, yeah.
That state of Texas will go because Chuck Norris.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, all that. Italy, got Stallone in there.
It's true.
All of Italy is going to show up for that, so it might do well. But thing about that though is Nicolas Cage could be in it in the third one, and perhaps Harrison Ford and Clint Eastwood if they're willing to do that. Someone left voicemails probably on their phones.
Yeah.
Just like, hey Harrison, do you want to be in this big action movie?
He's like, nah.
Probably. That made me start thinking about, hey, remember What Lies Beneath and how terrible that was?
Yeah, it was real bad.
Like how the first hour was just like nonsense and meant nothing.
All of it really meant nothing if you look in the grand scheme of things.
Right, but like the first hour has nothing to do with anything else that happens in that movie. It's like, oh man, I think it's these neighbors. These neighbors are super creepy, and like they're building that all up, and it's just like, no, we're just fine. You're paranoid. They're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time, but
yeah,
that sounds like something it did. You're right.
Just thinking about Zemeckis' career path and everything. Flight in theaters soon, which is based on a true story.
And you're still not too sure about it, I guess?
Now I know it's based on a book which was based on a true story, so that makes that movie at least make sense in my brain.
Okay.
Because, like, before it was just like there was no based on a true story in the trailer or anything, and Googling it, like, no one knew what it was because it just got announced, and then it was just like, who would just gin up this fake story about a plane crash? Like, this is the weirdest story to make out of nothing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, knowing it's like true, at least that kind of works. Although
I got chocolate all over my Capital One statement.
Is that important, or do you need that?
I guess not really, but
you can file it.
I do file everything.
Yeah, and then you'll months from now be like, oh yeah, chocolate.
Oh yeah, that was a good chocolate bar.
Makes that one.
Also, I owe a couple $1,000s.
Yay!
No, I'm kidding. I'm not that far gone anymore.
Okay. I still got credit card woes and stuff, but it's my fault.
The credit card blues got you down.
A little bit.
Get a harmonica.
No. Just kind of sit on my couch, play Counter-Strike probably.
Yeah. So you've been playing the beta for that?
Technically, yeah, but I think basically Steam owns that game, so they're just like, you can play it early.
They're like, we don't care, whatever.
Like, I mean, we want you to buy those console versions and stuff, I guess, but buy the Steam version, dude.
So then, did you buy it?
Yeah, I own that now. It was
okay.
like $15.50 or something.
Okay, because I don't think I want to buy it, but I would like to try the beta.
Why don't you want to buy it? It's fucking Counter-Strike. It's the baddest ass game ever.
Because it is fucking Counter-Strike.
Pussy. Go back to Black Ops.
Okay.
Okay.
The better
it's
game,
like
you mean?
Black Ops. Well, they had the gun game in there now. I don't know if that was always a thing.
In Counter-Strike?
Yeah.
I think, wasn't that like a mod they eventually put out? It seems familiar.
It seems like it would totally be a mod, and now it's just one of the other game modes.
Because I'm pretty sure some servers actually had that. Running that mod.
You're right. I'm pretty sure I played that on there. I just know it was an official mode in Black Ops. And
yes.
Now it's a selectable thing on Counter-Strike Go or whatever. Global.
Well, good for them. At least they're modernizing an old idea.
A bit. Like, there's still no iron sights or anything, because that's not how we do.
Right.
and it does look better, and it runs pretty smooth, and their controller support is just very friendly. Like,
So I'd probably be able to run it, right?
oh yeah, easy.
Okay.
So good.
Like, I was
Better.
looking at some videos and stuff, and I've seen it at conventions and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it looks pretty good. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to run it very good though, because I don't know
Oh,
like
dude,
what they're doing.
Blazing. It's totally meant for low end systems and stuff. Probably. Like, I looked at the requirements. They didn't have those up for a while. It was weird, but now they're posted. Yeah, I exceed all of the stuff. So
I mean, I should have probably assumed so because Valve is pretty good about that, being able to like run their games on anything.
yeah,
So
because they want more people.
yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. Dust is in there. Hey, that's still
The
a thing.
dust.
Yeah, but I ended up I played that for a bit, but then I was like, oh yeah, you die and then you just kind of watch. This sucks. So then I went back to playing the gun game again.
Yeah.
Which isn't what it's called. I think it's called Arsenal Mode or something,
But it's the gun game.
it's the gun game.
Mhm.
For a while I was playing with keyboard and mouse, but it was just imprecise enough with my I don't know. I tried using a mouse pad and stuff, but also it's wireless. I think it was just kind of not quite what I needed. So then I was like, I'm just gonna go all the way imprecise and at least be comfortable, and started using a controller, and I'm doing pretty good too.
So I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
When are we gonna start League of Legends?
I don't want to play that.
We should probably play it.
I don't want to play that.
We should probably play it.
I've never played one of those. Okay, all I hear about those, what are they even called? I call them Dota type games, but there's another name. MOBAs or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that actually what it is? MOBA?
I think something like that.
Okay. All I've heard is all the players are total dicks. Like, they don't want you to play it. Like, you start
Until
playing,
you get good, though.
Stop feeding, you asshole, get out of here.
Yeah, but I have
"Great,
friends
well, how
that
about I
are
just
deep
not play your
into
game?"
it, so they could teach us stuff. And
Okay.
then we could be those players, or we could make it even better. We could be like, "Yo, it's just a game. We'll help you," and people will be like, "Oh my God, League of Legends is amazing now because of Nathan and Paul," and we'll get awards. It'll be good.
Okay, I just don't know if it even sounds fun, but whatever.
It's free to play. What do you have to lose?
Time.
Oh yeah, it's so valuable.
I'm a pretty busy guy. Got a lot going on.
Are you?
I'm in my.
I don't actually know.
Right now, sitting on my couch.
Yeah, that's pretty
Big
good.
day. Big day. Some rice.
Look,
No, I don't know. There's stuff.
I took that rice off of your Xbox, by the way.
Thanks.
I just want to say I didn't put it there.
No, it wasn't the fact that it was rice. It was that it's starting to have things piled on it. That means no one cares.
No, it's not that. It's because we have very little counter space.
Okay.
So which is why the deep fryer was there too, because we had to move it. Usually we keep the deep fryer on top of the stove, but the stove was being used, so it had to be moved. And as you see with where the microwave is, there's no room for that deep fryer, so we had to move it. Everything just kind of piles there because it's the only empty counter space we have in the kitchen right now.
No, okay, fair enough. I was just like, oh man, this is I might as well just.
If it makes you feel any better, it is actually in the back of my mind every single day. I have
good.
I have
I'm glad
been wanting
you
to
know.
get to it.
As long as it's there, nagging at
And
you.
my PlayStation is there too. They're both in my mind, constantly. Just you should do this, and I'm I don't want to take apart a PlayStation again.
Oh, okay.
I've done that too many times in my life. Not the 3, just a PlayStation in general.
Oh. Well, all right. No rush really. I'm still enjoying the PlayStation and everything, but I don't know.
So Darksiders 2 you bought.
Yep. I'm not done talking about Counter-Strike.
Okay.
But whatever. Just what's your issue with Counter-Strike? It's the best multiplayer shooter ever, right?
No, it isn't.
What are you talking about? What's the best one? Quake 2 or some garbage? Get out of here.
No, not Quake 2.
Halo? One of you Halo guys?
I do like Halo multiplayer.
I like
However, I haven't played it in a long time.
Man, I was seeing some
Borderlands is probably the best multiplayer shooter experience.
Alright.
Probably easily.
I didn't play that.
Other than that, I don't know.
I don't know. Something about Borderlands never really. It's just so dumb.
You're crazy.
Its story.
You're crazy.
Oh, you're saying Borderlands actually had a brilliant story?
No, not brilliant. It's just fun.
Oh, okay.
Whatever happened to games just being fun, Nathan? Why can't we have
No,
fun
no.
anymore?
I kind of want games to do something else. I'm not sure. Like, it
So
took me a
basically, you
while.
want Team Eco to be doing stuff all over again.
Team Eco should do more stuff.
Like,
Yeah,
are they still a thing? Do they have money to keep going on The Last Guardian?
they're kind of splintered up now. I think some of the key guys left, so
That's
no, not
rough.
really.
That sucks.
Team Eco, as we knew it, is gone. But those people are still alive, so they could make.
But instead, we could get another God of War game. Aw, yeah.
This one has multiplayer.
Yay.
Yeah, it took me a while to get into Darksiders 2. I was enjoying it. I still am. Like, I finally started really playing it extensively last night and had a really good time. Like, just played it for 3-4 hours or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But for the first while, it was just kind of, I don't know, wasn't quite clicking. Like, it was like, yeah, there's loot in it and stuff, and I'm running around, but I don't know. I just wasn't quite feeling the story or something. But it started to pick up a bit in that respect.
Right.
I'm starting to like Death a bit more as a character. Despite, like, I still think his face just looks kind of silly. Like,
Okay. Did you get the mask?
What do you mean? Is there a downloadable mask or something?
No, don't you get a mask with, like, the collector's edition of the game or something?
I don't know. I went to Walmart and got the double pack, so I got free Darksiders 1.
Darksiders 1 is real good, too.
Yeah. But no, I don't have any special mask or anything. It just looks kind of like a weird goalie mask, but the main thing is his eyes are glowing, and I don't know. Something about that just looks kind of corny to me.
Okay.
But whatever, that's not that important. Dude has scythes and everything. You can, like, a proper Diablo type thing, put different armor on him or whatever, and it changes, and I like that. I'm trying to think, really, what stands out so far. There was one really frustrating boss battle that kind of hijacked my enjoyment there for a little bit, just because I couldn't figure out what to do in the second half of it.
Was it the golem?
It was some big guardian guy, yeah. I had to look up online to just... Which I felt silly once I saw what it was, but it's just like, I don't care right now. And there's no Navi type thing where you're just like,
Hey, listen.
Here's a little clue about what you're supposed to do. It was just like, no, just fight. You should figure this out. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting angry at the game.
Great.
So, yeah, last time I talked about it on the internet, I was at a point of frustration. But it's better than that. I'm still, I don't know. I'll go back to it, play it some more, see how I feel about where it goes from here. But generally speaking, it's pretty great. Yeah, I don't know.
You sound tired or something.
My sleep schedule's been all over the place. Like, yesterday, I got home at like 3,
Mm-hmm.
bought Counter-Strike, then went to sleep for like 6 hours, and then woke up and played it. So, and then I went to sleep again at like 6 in the morning after playing Darksiders. So it was a really weird day.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, like I woke up 2 hours ago at this point.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I just want to, like, yeah, all that Counter-Strike, for me, there's also just nostalgia stuff, so it's bringing me back to, like, 5-6 years ago when I just listened to Midnight Brown playlist over again.
Yep.
And shot dudes with, like, Desert Eagle and whatever. So, in that respect, it's doing probably more for me than it actually deserves. Like, I was kind of being a bit facetious about its quality. Like, it's only great if you like Counter-Strike.
Right.
And I like Counter-Strike, so...
Well, the thing is, since it's a Valve game, you just know that at Christmas it'll be $3.
Sure.
So, like, I'll probably wait in that
regard.
regard.
Like, I'm looking forward to playing it, like, probably in the Steam group or something. Just, like, that's a multiplayer game I can at least enjoy. Like, I just was not feeling what I played of Team Fortress at all. Mm-hmm. Although I should check out that co-op mode. That might actually be fun. Like a horde mode type thing. But yeah, I'll go back to that. Oh, the Born. Can I just briefly get that out of the way too? Yeah. So, how do you feel about those movies in general?
I told you I haven't bothered watching them. I don't care.
You just haven't even. That's weird to me because it just seems to be that's one of the things that's been going on. So if you're paying attention to action movies, you would have seen those.
I don't really care for action movies usually.
Okay. I don't have a special love for those movies. Like, they're kind of okay espionage things, but the thing I've felt, I think I talked about this when I saw Supremacy too, like, they're just not fun. Like, no one's having fun in that world. Like, there's no kind of one-liners or anything. Not that there has to be, but there's no sense of kind of joy in any of the characters' lives. And the main characters you're rooting for aren't necessarily good people.
Right.
It's just like, I'm a hardcore agent, and I can snap necks with the best of them, and you're just like, I don't want anyone paying for anybody to learn how to snap necks better, so you're not really sympathetic. Like, bleh. But, I don't know. And
Fair enough.
it continues that, but also just kind of seems unnecessary, because it's just like, we can't get Matt Damon back, here's a new character. He's part of a program that kind of retcons parts of the other program, in that, like, apparently there's drug stuff involved in it. You have to juice up on pills and chems in order to be a badass agent, which just seems silly.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, then it's just Jeremy Renner kind of figuring out Ed Norton and his crew want to kill him, and going on the run, meeting up with Rachel Weisz, who's like this doctor who experiments with chems and everything, and then they go on the run for a bit, and then the movie just kind of ends. Like, nothing that important happens. Like, it references Ultimatum a lot, and like they're always like, oh, Jason Bourne is in Manhattan causing all these problems, like you remember from that last movie.
Mm-hmm.
And cuts back to this other B story going on. And then, like, nothing of significance happens in the end. Like, don't want to be spoilery, but, like, nothing happens to Ed Norton. He's just still there. Like, I think they want this to be another trilogy or something, but I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
How did it do at the box office?
Kind of okay. Like, it made, like, 40 million or something.
Like, enough for a sequel?
I don't know.
Probably
like,
not.
Hopefully not. I hope they can just let this go away. Mm-hmm. Like, it was weird. And it's also, like, I just noticed it was all the Gilroys. Like, Tony Gilroy did the adaptations and stuff of the Ludlum books, or made up the movie universe or whatever, like, previously, but this is his first time directing one of them. And then he also got, like, his brother to co-write it, and John Gilroy, whom I'm assuming is another brother, to edit it. So It just seems like this was some weird, like, come on guys, we made it in Hollywood, let's get some money, like, from the Gilroy family, which is probably not what happened at all, but it stood out as being a weird little thing. Yeah, I don't know. It was just boring. It was not, like, offensively bad most of the time, but it was just, like, boring. Like, for an action movie, that's terrible.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't care about the chases. There was, like, one shootout in a house that was kind of okay, but I think that's mostly because nothing happened for, like, 40 minutes, and then it's like, hey, this is the first time people are shooting each other, so I'm going to sit up in my seat a bit now because loud noises. Like, it wasn't exactly good. So, yeah, thumbs down, don't see it.
No problem there. Wasn't planning to.
Okay. I don't even know if I really, like, say you need to go out of your way to see those previous movies either. Like, they're okay, but they're kind of learning some lessons from those and applying them in, like, the new James Bond movies. So just see Casino Royale.
Right, okay. I do have Casino Royale. I don't have the other...
Quantum was bad, but I'm looking forward to Skyfall. So yeah, if you want some espionage action movie, wait for Skyfall. That looks way better.
Okay.
And it has people in it that I like more.
I have seen some of Quantum, because it was, like, on somewhere that I was for probably half an hour.
I just remember it being really bad. Like,
I wasn't too into it.
It's very, like, disappointing in comparison to the one that came before anyway.
Okay.
So might have inflated its terribleness somewhat in my mind, but it's, like, amongst my least favorite James Bond movies as of right now.
Fair enough.
And I have way too much affection for that series, but whatever. Did you catch any movies this week, or?
No.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the horror game Hoedown?
The horror game Hoedown? Yeah,
yep.
Let's do it.
Alright. So, we did another live stream. This one kind of focused on horror games of late.
Indie horror games, to be completely specific, I guess.
Yeah, so no Resident Evil or Silent Hill around here. This was, smaller stuff on the computer.
This was real stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of those games are scary. I haven't really played Silent Hill or anything. But yeah, we started with Slender, which they've updated to the point where I don't know how
it feels broken now.
I don't know if it feels broken,
No, it does. Like, from a gameplay place, there was a lot of times, I think, 2 or 3 times with different people that the Slender Man just teleported in front of us while we were trying to get away, and the game was over.
See, I wasn't really paying close enough to... Like, that didn't happen to me. So I'm still kind of the... Like, I have this doubt in my mind, like, maybe you guys are just playing real sloppy.
Like, how are you supposed to play, though? Because your flashlight goes off. You can't just be taking your time.
Right. But, like, maybe he maybe it was more legit than you... I don't know. Like, you lost track of him and he actually was just there?
No. Like, we watched him teleport in front of... it was John Hetler, not the other John. Not Proton, the other John we had over.
Okay.
He was playing, and like he was just kind of going through the woods, and he teleported right in front of him when there was nothing there, and then the game was over. That's why we were like, wow, that's complete bullshit.
Okay. Like, was his screen already fuzzy from before, and it was just enough of seeing him to tip the scale, or was it...
No, because he ran into him.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
like full dead.
How many pages was that?
3?
Okay.
Maybe
it's kind of weird.
2.
I don't know. That personally didn't happen to me. The one thing I noticed was just fog is in there now, but also they seem to have added night vision, kind of. Not actual night vision goggles, but I mean how your eyes become accustomed to darkness and you can kind of see a bit better.
That's a good thing, yeah.
It's a good thing in terms of logic, but it kind of took some of the terror out of it. Maybe. I don't know. Like, it seemed a little less intense this time, but maybe also because we just had more people in the room, and that game kind of dissipates with the more people that are around.
Yeah.
Which
definitely.
seems to be just the case with horror games.
In general, yes.
Like, if you have a room full of people laughing and talking and eating chips while Amnesia's on, Amnesia's not scary.
Right, but at the same time, it might depend on who you have around.
I guess.
Because, like, when we were playing, not this weekend, but last weekend, like, Slender wasn't really scaring me that much, but, like, I wasn't openly mocking it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when you were playing it, I know Dez was pretty freaked out.
Yeah,
so,
Dez helped because he's actually screaming and stuff.
Right.
And, like, I'm just getting kind of stressed out and angry at it, which helps too.
But, like, when you have 2 other people there just openly mocking ridiculous things about it, like, that takes a lot of the intensity away. So I think it depends who you're with, too.
Which I think didn't help SCP-87 either. With the added stress of having a live stream of people watch you walk down an infinite staircase for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that game is not meant to be live streamed, I don't think.
Right, like it's just like, hey everybody, watch this repetitive thing happen.
I think the best case scenario if you wanted to show people that game is that you're in a room alone or with one other person that gets like freaked out just as easily or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing it and recording it, and then you put it up on YouTube after, so people can see your reactions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That might be the only way to showcase that game.
I think we kind of sabotaged that game's intent or whatever. Like once we died, we were just kind of glad it was over.
Yeah.
Just, oh, good. All right, so that was the end, and then.
And it did take a while. It was a good half an hour or so.
Was it?
It felt like it to me. I was the one
we
playing.
We were down like 70 stories or thereabouts.
And then we switched even.
Yeah.
Like, I was easily playing for probably 10 or 15 minutes, and you probably were too.
I think we're exaggerating the time on that. It didn't seem that long.
It is recorded. We could go back and check.
Oh, okay.
But,
check the timestamp on that.
Yeah.
But, okay. Yeah, that was SCP-87, which maybe play it alone at home or something. I still think it's an interesting thought.
And actually, the stream started with Hyde.
Yeah. Which, I like how simple the art style is. It's all pixel stuff, and you're kind of running through this forest, like, from guards or something.
I was getting some weird vertigo when watching you play it, though. Like, when I had played it before, it was fine, because I was in control. Mm-hmm. But, like, the pixelation doesn't help viewers, I don't think. It makes you a little bit sick.
It looks super abstract from, if you're not actually playing it and kind of interpreting what's going on. It just looks like a mess on the screen.
Yeah.
Which I thought it was kind of neat that you could kind of, your brain's kind of sorting it out and being like, no, this is a forest, that's a house, and all this stuff. But at the same time, I still got lost and couldn't find any of the other plaques. I don't know what that game's about. Like,
yeah,
you find a plaque and it has like a crime on it or something, like rape and persecution were the ones we saw.
Mm-hmm.
and then more things happen, kind of like in Slender, like like the stakes get raised, and now there's a helicopter or something, or multiple guards looking for you.
Which is kind of cool.
It's a neat idea, yeah. And I guess my theory on it is like you might actually be a criminal, and you're on the run. So you're not the good guy. You're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Just think that. But I don't know. Yeah, that also didn't demo especially well and looked really messy. So yeah. Then we played Witch, which isn't really a horror game.
No, it is. Like, if you were playing that alone with, like, the sounds and stuff, the first time that mannequin thing comes around, you'd probably be a little freaked out.
But not in the same way. Like, the game's not trying to hurt you. It's just a spooky puzzle game. It's, like, atmospheric. It was honestly reminding me, like, this is not going to help anybody, but there's this short experimental film from the 40s I saw in class called Meshes of the Afternoon.
Okay.
By Maya Deren.
Okay.
Which also involves just like keys in like a weird house. So it was kind of conjuring up that stuff, and it seemed to have kind of a similar kind of like, it's creepy. Like in that one, there's these people with like mirror faces, like hoods or whatever, and it's like an odd thing, and it was like that. It's like, this is a very odd house. Like there's this headless mannequin, but like the game isn't trying to murder you or anything. It's just kind of haunting or not.
I was a little annoyed with that game personally.
Yeah.
Mainly because I wanted to beat it and no one else seemed into that idea.
Well, I just don't know how. I got confused. I was down with it too, but I was like, if we play through this again, like we're literally just gonna get stuck at the same place because I don't know what to do.
I think we were onto something with the whole perspective thing. Like, I know other people were saying probably not, but I think that's just obscure enough, but like makes enough sense that someone in that mindset could figure it out. And mostly, I just don't like being wrong, so I'm pretty sure I was right. Or we were right, because you had said the same thing too.
Okay, yeah. It's kind of a click on everything, open doors and things, and look for like how to proceed, essentially, like the trigger to go to the next area, and we just kind of couldn't figure out this one puzzle involving a mannequin and fixing her, like she's missing her heart in her head.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still kind of a neat look and everything. It was okay, but not quite in the same, like, stuff is chasing you vibe as the other ones. And yeah, we played some Amnesia, but only the first little bit. And
yeah,
then
like, I know a few people were saying we should just throw that on. I'm totally down for that because I do like that game quite a bit.
Yeah.
But the problem is when you're streaming and you're starting from the beginning, nothing really happens until you're a good, like, maybe hour in.
Right. Like, when I got home, like, yesterday I was playing a bit more of it, and I'm at the part where stuff starts happening, but I'm also, like, it's been out for 2 years, like, and everyone keeps talking about it. The water part, where there's an invisible water thing chasing you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure, like, if I quit last time because I was scared, or if because I was really frustrated with the game.
Maybe a bit of both?
Like, well, last time maybe a bit of both, but this time I'm kind of past, like, oh, it's gonna get you. And I'm just like, man, I hate standing on a box awkwardly and grabbing another box and moving it around and stuff in the dark. Like, I just can't see.
Okay.
This isn't fun in any way. Like, it's like bringing back memories of, like, Half-Life 1 first-person jumping stuff. And don't do that. Just, I don't know. It was not doing it for me. I was kind of angry at it. Like, specifically, there's a part in Half-Life 1 where the water's electrified, right?
Yep.
And you're moving around crates and jumping and stuff.
I hated that part.
It's just that. It's literally just that, except it's got, like, invisible guy. But, I don't know. At some point, I was just annoyed with the invisible guy as opposed to scared of it. It was just like, dude, I'm just trying to open this door. Just go away. Like,
there's some parts like that in Resistance 2, if you ever played that.
Like annoying jumping puzzles?
Like in the water, because there was creatures in the water that would just insta-kill you.
Oh,
and those were kind of terrifying, though, because, like, when you went in the water, there was still a chance you could jump out.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if not, this creepy-looking thing would just come out of the murky water and get you right away.
Okay.
So, like,
that's kind of...
That's kind of creepy.
Killer Croc comes and gets you.
like I like that part in Asylum a lot too.
And there's the sharks in City. Thought that was funny.
I hate water parts in
Yeah.
games. And at first it definitely is a dread thing because I'm not scared of water so much as like I'm scared of not being able to see what's there.
Yeah.
But
Like,
then
it's a
after a
good
while it
idea.
just becomes like a problem with mechanics because usually the games don't have good mechanics to get across the part you need to or whatever. And they're just kind of frustrating more than anything.
I found myself more just kind of not willing to battle through it's like what it wanted me to do just wasn't fun, so I was like, I don't know. But apparently that's the only part in that game like that, right? So after that, it's like weird stealthy stress thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I'll get through it, but yeah, that's what kind of stopped me from playing that.
There's a few other
and
chase parts though.
Okay.
Which you
I don't
seem to
mind
be
being
into,
chased.
so.
Yeah, Dark Corners of the Earth had that, so I'm into that. But I don't know. And then we played a bit of Binding of Isaac to close it out.
Yep. That was probably the best part of the stream for me. That was fun.
Well, it's a fun game, and it's kind of horror, and that it's just super weird.
Well, I mean, the story, quote-unquote story, it's kind of horrific.
Yeah. No, there's a story. That's an interesting little story.
Yeah.
It's classic, dude. Isaac. That's Bible. Stuff's old.
Going biblical on our ass there.
Yeah, I'm actually, I do like its weird satirical edge on all that stuff. So yeah, thumbs up to Edmund and those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's Binding of Isaac, and that was it, kind of for the horror game. Like any other stuff did we do really? I'm trying to think.
We talked a lot.
Oh, we played Splunky multiplayer.
Oh yeah, that went kind of terrible. It went a lot better than I thought it would for a few times there, though. But
yeah, there were actually some battle type stuff.
We got some
bomb spam. Woo!
We did do some bomb spam. But I think we got a better feel of what the deathmatch can do when like you're not just all bomb spamming all the time.
Right.
So that's kind of fun. I think maybe next time we should actually try it and just like put 2 bombs or 3 or whatever they default to as.
What would happen if you have limited bombs and you have to kind of get up on dudes and whip them into stuff and whatever.
Or even better, no bombs at all.
Yeah, it's just whipping and obstacles.
Yeah. So that might be okay.
Maybe.
But I'm kind of done playing that game. The only time I ever play it is when you come over, you're like, let's play Spelunky.
Okay.
And then, just to be an asshole, I'm usually like, oh...
I do. I don't know.
What's that?
Like, no one I've really encountered other than my friend Ben, who's not here at all, he's up in northern Alberta, really likes that game. So I haven't really been able to play it properly with anybody.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because, like, yeah, anytime I play it with co-op or whatever with you guys, you're just trying to murder me all the time.
Yeah.
And that's not how it's supposed to go. We can actually get through a lot of it if we're working together.
Yeah. But then it's not fun for me.
Okay. You don't like seeing weird, crazy levels?
I don't care.
Alright.
Not with a game like that, really. Because essentially, even though the level change, like, there's weird stuff in the levels, the game doesn't change at all.
Yeah, it's mechanically more or less the same, but you gotta get that shotgun.
Yeah. That shotgun is the key to doing anything in that game, like, realistically.
It helps a whole lot, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess, like, it's not really a thing yet, but I did apply for a beta for that Primal Carnage game.
What's Primal Carnage?
It is people versus dinosaurs.
People versus dinosaurs? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like
we also played 1916.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
1916 Der Überkant Krieg?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Sorry for my German, it's been years, and by years I mean never.
Like, you're in trenches and there's robot dinosaurs, and it was more weird than scary. Yeah.
Like, okay, so I'm just gonna say it one more time, though. All of these games in a different setting would have been more intense. Like,
maybe.
We did that all wrong, and, like, I figured probably, in a way, it was still kind of okay, because we got to showcase some indie games to people that never would have even heard of them. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel pretty happy about that. I'm a big proponent of indie developers and people that try their own stuff out.
Yeah.
So like that trench, like being in the trenches with dinosaurs and stuff, I think was a cool idea. So that probably should get more of a spotlight. I thought Witch was a good idea and stuff like that. So like people wanting to try those should probably do so, maybe with headphones on in a dark room, get the full experience, but yeah,
I
probably
like
not with four friends that are cynical.
no, but even like why dinosaurs though in that one? Like why not just have a horrifying World War One game? Like that almost seems like they chickened out from making it too real world or something, and
I don't
just
know,
had to put
because they
in
wanted
something
dinosaurs.
goofy. But like it's kind of making me think like why hasn't anyone made a World War II first person shooter with like a Auschwitz level or something? Like
Haven't
that's the
they?
example people say. I don't think anyone did. Have they? Like that doesn't happen in any of the
That's
mainstream stuff.
Well, no, I mean nothing really happens in the mainstream stuff though.
Like you're playing Medal of Honor or something, and then it's just like, oh fuck, this is horrifying. War is horrible. Like no game has ever done that. It's more just like shoot the guy, shoot that guy better, shoot more guys. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of irresponsible in a weird way. And I actually heard Homefront kind of tries to do that in a modern setting, and it's awful.
They failed though.
Like it's
Did you ever play Homefront?
No.
Oh, okay, don't.
Like okay. Now I'm almost like curious about
I've
it.
almost beaten the game.
Like apparently Spec Ops goes in some weird territory too, but again, it's a fictional story. Like people seem to shy away from historical stuff, right? Like it's like, hey, Modern Warfare 2, we got this crazy terrorist act that happens in this airport. And it's just like, well, wait, like you're clearly just doing this analog for 9/11. Why not just have a 9/11 level? And they're just like, no, you can't do that. Are you serious? We'd like get kicked out of the world or something. We can't do that. I'm not going to sell millions of copies that way.
Does that mean we should be the first?
Yeah, just make a 9/11 game.
I have had an idea for something to do with Auschwitz in a game.
Okay.
Like it wouldn't be controversial so much as it would be maybe horrifying, so that could be okay. Like it's probably time now that people could talk about that stuff, right?
Well, like take it a little more seriously, like in this medium or whatever. I've just been thinking a lot about how serious games get, and some of them, like a lot of them from the indie scene, seem to take themselves a little more seriously. But like, yeah, like I was just like stuff like Heavy Rain and everything David Cage does just seems so corny, yet it's like so self-serious in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, at the end of the day, you're watching like Suspect Zero.
Well, the problem
game.
with anything David Cage does is that David Cage does it.
Well, like he has so much creative control over it that it's like all of his ideas end up in there.
No, exactly. That's the problem, is that he does them. Like, he has good ideas.
Mm-hmm. And bad ideas, and no one's there to say.
No one's there to put a leash on him, I should say. Yeah.
Which, like, yeah, the industry's still at this weird early stage where, like, we're considering that one of our auteurs or whatever, and it's just like, oh man,
We're in a bad spot. Yep.
Like, yeah, that's like pulling aside
Michael
like,
Bay.
Well, no,
Just being like-
people actually have made that argument, like, in a weird way. Like, I did, because he does explosions in a very specific way, and you're not appreciating the subtleties of the explosions.
No, I'm... Like, you're not...
I'm being facetious to some extent, but...
No, but what I'm saying is that, like, David Cage does his thing really good, like, as Michael Bay does, but to get him to do a game like that, with, like, where he has complete control is ridiculous, as it would be if Michael Bay did a movie that was supposed to be like a drama. Because it would be all intense or something, and then all of a sudden it would get broken with a huge explosion and, like, gunfire everywhere or something.
No. See, the thing is, like the reason I would say Michael Bay is because he's a name. Like, I'm saying, like, David Cage is more like the Brett Ratner or something.
Okay.
Like, he has no, like, real unique thing. Like, it's like, oh, these are just kind of generic bad serial killer thing, but it's a video game. You know? Like, it's like, or the Saw director, who directed that. You know?
Yeah, I can't remember now.
Like, it's like that level of thought and storytelling in a lot of ways, but because it's in a video game, people are like, oh man, this is like new, untouched territory for the medium, this is exciting, and it's like, okay, but the story's really bad, you guys. Like it's really bad. Is no one kind of gonna give it a 6 and be like, this is kind of bad? Like, I appreciate what it's doing, but it's also bad. Like, people are like, no, 9, I've never seen a game like this. Good stuff. Like that. Like, I want to check the Metacritic on that because it was way too high.
On what, Heavy Rain?
On Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Not to bring up like a 2-year-old game, but like I'm super like apprehensive about Beyond Two Souls or whatever too, because it's like this is probably gonna be really stupid. 87.
Oh wow, that is way too high.
It got 99 glowing reviews, 5 kind of ehs, and 3 negatives. So
weird.
Yeah, like
Heavy Rain's still a solid 7.
Sure, yeah. Like I
maybe
think,
like if you went into replay value, it would be like a solid 3 though. It has very little replay value to me anyway.
I guess, but then you're kind of looking at it as just a fun game that you're supposed to play over and over. Like I don't know, like but which he said you shouldn't do, which is kind of weird to say, but like yeah, I don't know.
But they put in 8 different endings.
Right.
So like they wanted you to play it again. But that ain't gonna happen. I do know someone that has gotten the platinum in that though. And they did play it like 8 times.
To some degree, they wanted you to play it again. But I believe David Cage kind of just wanted people to talk about it. It's just like, oh, that didn't happen in my story. Like, that was kind of what he was hoping for.
Yeah.
It's, again, like, you can't control that. I just never played it again. I played it once, and I was like,
yeah.
Like, I was really invested for a long time, though. Like, I don't want to diminish, like, things that game managed to achieve. Like, yeah, there's the one moment, like, this is, again, 2 years ago. Like, there's the one moment early in the game where, like, you think a guy is going to pull out a gun, and then you shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that was good. That was a good part.
I screwed up and did that, and that's totally a fair thing that happened. Like, the game didn't cheat me.
No.
It was like I was in the movie for a second there.
It was like you were, what was his name, Jaden?
Yeah.
I guess?
And, like, both of you are questioning this suspect, and you're like,
and then all of a sudden something happens, and you freak out a little bit, and you're like, oh, I gotta push this button right now, or something bad's gonna happen, but no.
Right.
You just killed an innocent man.
And that was actually a nice little moment that was
really good. That stuck out in my mind for a while, actually, yeah.
Yeah, like, there were little bits, like, sprinkled throughout that game, and Fahrenheit, too, or Indigo Prophecy, if you will. Like, I actually really liked that game when I first played it, but the story devolves into, like, dumb, fake Matrix junk.
Right.
I swear, like that's why I'm worried Beyond Two Souls is gonna do something dumb like that too, because it's like already got a supernatural hook in it. So it's just gonna be like, this is extra silly. Like, why can't someone just make a game about normal everyday stuff without it then devolving into something more gamey?
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's not like no one does, but at the very least, that big budget stuff that gets ad money does not. So. I'm very curious what we'll see at PAX. I kind of want to really focus on what's going on in that PAX 10 area this year. Like, really see what's going on and what people are thinking of. Because, like, yeah, I don't, I found myself getting too distracted by the big glitzy things in years past. Like, it's just like, oh, let's play Battlefield. Do you care about Battlefield? Not at all. Lining up. Like, it's like, why? Why are you here?
But then at, like, the same time, there's, like, Super Meat Boy there. You're just like, I should have played that.
Well, like, The Witness was there, and I walked past it.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I didn't know it was there. Like, and I could have gotten a kind of glimpse into what that's trying to do and everything. And there was a game not unlike, like, that. What's that? It's like you're at a party, and, like, one player is playing as the character, and the others are trying to spot who it is. It's much like that WarioWare game I noticed at E3.
Yeah, I can't remember what that's called now, though.
But yeah, like these weird kind of social camouflage games and like just stuff that's doing really neat multiplayer outside the box type ideas. And yeah, again, I just didn't pay enough attention to that stuff. Like, it's just like, oh, I haven't heard of this, so therefore it might not be great.
Like, that's the game where there's like a sniper outside the window or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And like he's looking in, but you can only see like with the binocular or the scope or whatever it is. And then the person inside is trying to, like, get intel from one guy, kill another guy, and steal something else or whatever.
And
like
just kind of look as much like an AI character as possible to kind of blend in.
Yeah.
With what's going on. So, yeah, I guess Assassin's Creed multiplayer kind of incorporated some of those ideas, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know. That's kind of stuff that was coming to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Any other kind of media habit stuff?
I bought Iron Brigade. on Steam.
Okay.
It's the first time I've owned it, because I didn't buy it on Xbox.
Yeah, I played it when it was trenched a while ago, but have you started it, or?
I loaded it up last night because I bought it last night, and I just wanted to make sure that I got through like the signing up for Windows Live thing and like putting in my key and all that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up playing it for about an hour. It's really good. I think it would be a lot better with 3 other people, though. I mean, as that game's meant to be played.
Well, yeah, that was one of the few games I've kind of had no trouble dropping into other players' games and having a good time. Like, just kind of having it like, yeah, dude, whatever, just drop in. Like, some games I've played default to that, like Dead Rising 2, that was happening for a while, and I was like, this is awful. Like, I gotta turn this off. I don't want anyone else screwing around in my mall. This is not good.
Right.
But that game, it's like, oh, dude, yeah, more the merrier. Let's shoot these robots. And it totally worked. And, like, there's not really anything they can do to grief you or anything I found, so you're just kind of having a good time. And it makes the game easier, too.
Yeah.
So, maybe don't shy away from helping other people out or whatever.
Well, I'm probably not going to play with random people, because I usually don't on those type of games.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting other people I know into it. So, that'll be fun, I guess. Maybe going back a little bit, we're going to be at PAX in a couple weeks here.
Okay.
I think we're doing a live podcast with like a bunch of people.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Well, Sean was into that idea.
Okay.
So we're probably going to do that. Or like a live thing from PAX. I don't know.
If you can get hotel internet working for you and everything, I guess.
That's the problem. They'll probably have a place to like hook in though. Most of those places do.
Last time, it was literally just hotel lobby, and if you wanted to do anything else, it was like stupid amount of money a day.
Okay, because the last place I went to, we actually had jacks to plug a Cat 5 cable into.
Okay.
So.
Oh, hopefully. I don't know.
Be good.
All I know is, like, day 1 I want to go to the Giant Bomb after party, and day 3 I want to go to the Double Fine after party. So...
Okay, I'm there for both then. That's fine. Saturday, it didn't look like there was anything at night I was too crazy about, so maybe that would be the good night to do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Because then we had 2 days to walk the show floor and all that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Man, it's going to be so whirlwind fast. That's what sucks.
What do you mean?
At a convention where it's like so much awesome stuff is going on, you can't possibly see it all. Like, it's like, no!
Yeah.
I want to go to all of it.
And like a lot of things are happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Like John's panel, it happens half an hour before like the Destructoid one.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And there's a Double Fine 2-player productions thing at 1, I think, which I just found out about, and I'm really bummed out because now I'm in a weird spot. But yeah. Just because I've been watching through that documentary stuff again, like more, like
okay.
their new episode up, and yeah, I just really like seeing kind of the creative juices starting to stir up in this, like with these people I've kind of idolized for a long time as being game creators and whatever, like Tim Schafer specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it was like grade 2 playing Day of the Tentacle. And then
Day of the Tentacle was still one of my favorite, like, of those games. The
it's really
adventure
fantastic.
games.
Like I played it a couple years ago again, and it's still like the humor and writing holds up so well. Like the old, it doesn't really matter, and it still has a very expressive style too. So it's just like, oh, everything's weird angles and it's all colorful.
They should do an HD re-release of that.
Yeah, like they did those Monkey Island ones, and I have less kind of nostalgia for those, but I was still happy to see them again.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I would have loved to see a Day of the Tentacle update.
Done in like the Rayman Origins type, like animation,
that
the quality of animation.
Yeah, it would have been awesome. But you know, hey, they're making Double Fine Adventure, which is at least in that mold, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, to see kind of like in this one I just watched, there was kind of like an art jam, and they have a bunch of artists in there, kind of just freestyling, like throwing down ideas and painting weird stuff, and just kind of giving. I guess it's like just to kind of see like everyone kind of bouncing ideas off each other. So it's like the artist will come up with stuff, and then Tim will kind of look at them and kind of see which ones fit his story ideas, and then kind of riff off of that. it's just really cool to see that happen.
Yeah.
Like, more not like live, but I'm glad they're inviting us in to kind of see some of that stuff. It's I don't know, one of the most interesting film related things I've been seeing lately too, just because I have a lot of investment in it already.
Yeah.
I kind of want to check out the panel, but I guess there's 2 other panels Tim Schafer will be on, one with Brad Muir and one with kind of some story narrative people. So,
I love Brad Muir. That guy's great.
He's the Trench guy, right? Iron Brigade?
Yeah. I think that was his main thing, yeah.
I guess he has another project as well going on.
That he's working on?
Although at the time, like, actually, maybe that's that TV action theater follow-up. I'm not sure if that was him or not. Because it announced that, and the documentary I'm seeing is, like, probably filmed a couple months ago.
Right.
But, yeah. Or maybe, I don't know what the turnaround is on these. They kind of did a double episode this time. Did you support, like, were you in the Kickstarter or anything?
I was not, no.
Oh, okay. So I'm not sure how much you'd get out of the series or not, but I'm really getting quite engaged with it all. I guess it depends how much you care about Double Fine and stuff, but it might also be interesting just as kind of like a smaller developer doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's not quite indie, but they're still consulting some indie guys. Like, they had the Play Dead Studios people in there. And
I've always considered them a big indie studio. Like, they would be the, like, AAA version of indie developers, because they've always done what they want, and they find, like, the people to support their ideas. They don't do stuff just because someone with money told them to.
Right. So it's like Activision kicks out their thing, and then they're just like, well, we got to find someone else because we're not going to not.
To the internet. Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I do admire kind of what they do.
It's also a little bit easier because when you have, like, 2 of the grandfathers of, like, your genre that you're known for, you have, like, a lot of pull, I guess.
Right,
so,
like, put those names out there, people are like, I know who those people are, and, like, you have, like, 2 decades worth of fans.
Or if, like, you get random developer for EA, like, oh, this guy, he's worked for EA for 20 years, like, I don't know his name, fuck him, I'm not giving him money.
Like, I guess that's kind of what the Henry Hatsworth people had to, it's like, these guys are, you know, veterans, but they worked on this Madden for years, you know?
Yeah.
But at least, I think that game got a decent amount of talk. Like, it was at least kind of a neat little thing. I lost interest in it after a while. But that was, you know, at least a bigger studio gave them some leash to do some weird stuff. But
definitely,
I think we're at kind of a weird moment in time where all that stuff's becoming more commonplace and everything. So PAX is becoming kind of more important.
PAX is becoming huge, a lot of developers even say, because it's the biggest gathering of actual gamers that they can get stuff out to. It's basically like PR for them.
Yeah, like a word-of-mouth generating machine.
Whereas E3 is where they go to sell their ideas and, like, concepts and stuff like that to people that are in the industry willing to, like, listen to them. This is where they take their, like, finished product or almost finished product and see what the general consensus will be about it. It's just as, if not more important, I guess, in that step of the development process. And I'm a big fan of what they do for indie developers, too. Get their games out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. It'll be good.
It'll be good.
I guess, speaking of expos, I just want to bring up the Edmonton Comic and Entertainment Expo is a thing now.
Is this the first time they've done one?
This is their first year, yep, and they just announced it this week. So, might want to give a shout out to them, I guess. Calgary Expo guys getting together with an Edmonton Comic Expo company, or whatever they're doing. I can't remember the details about it. Basically, they're going to be trying to do 2 a year now, so 1 in Calgary and 1 in Edmonton. So that's kind of good for us, because Edmonton's just a 2.5 to 3 hour drive away.
3 if you're driving safely, yeah.
Well, who drives safely?
Me.
Oh, that sucks.
No, it's great. I survive and stuff. It's awesome.
And yet I'm not dead. You think I'm dead?
No, I'm just saying, 50 years from now, we'll see.
50?
Yeah, we'll see you still ticking.
I mean, probably you, because I smoke.
Okay.
So, yeah. I guess all
Are you,
they...
like... Okay.
Sorry,
I don't
what?
need to probe into that, I
No,
guess.
go ahead.
It's like, hey, you know it's bad for you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're gonna kind of stop doing that?
No,
Oh, okay. Why's that?
because I like it and it's my choice.
Okay. It says right on the box and everything. It's, you know.
Yep.
Okay. You might like Mad Men then, because they kind of reckless in the same way.
Okay.
I don't know. I just, yeah. I've never, to be fair, I've never really smoked it ever. I had some cigars, and I don't get the appeal.
Okay.
But, yeah.
That's fine.
Well,
I'm not telling you to.
Makes you feel like a gangster, maybe. A little
Nope.
bit. With a cigar, it does.
Oh, maybe. I haven't had a cigar in years.
Oh, okay.
I actually find them harsh.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's the thing. Like the smoothness of the smoke.
I mean, a cigarette isn't that much smoother when you first start doing it.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know.
It's like a tolerance thing.
It's kind of at the point now, like I started when I was younger. And it's kind of at the point now where when I do it, it's like something my body not requires, but like wants. So when I do it, I don't feel anything, really.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of almost feels like a relief, like when you take a deep breath
Okay.
and like you have your lungs fill with like air. You know that relief you get for like having like a full lungs full of air, and then you breathe out, you're like, oh, that was good.
Like on a nice spring day or something, you mean? Like just
Or
get
like,
a whiff of that nice pine
or even
smell.
just like if you're in your basement for a while or something, then you go outside and you take a
Oh,
fresh
yeah,
whiff,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you're like, oh, that was pleasant. That's kind
Mhm.
of like what my body reacts to now with cigarettes.
Huh.
Yeah, so more than anything, it's just something I enjoy. Also, it really actually started because my old job, that was the only way you could actually take a break without it looking like you're just being lazy.
Right.
And it was also a social thing. A whole bunch of us would go out for a cigarette and just stand around and talk and get to know each other better.
Right.
And it's
Yeah,
just...
it's so weird. Like, yeah, I've seen that observation. It's like there's no other excuse that's acceptable for just going outside for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, hey, all right, I'm just gonna go not work for a little bit. Like, they don't. That's not permissible for some reason. It's weird.
Right.
Unless that's a thing. So okay, all right, that's fine. I just, being raised by a nurse and stuff, like, you're constantly reminded, hey, that's really bad. Don't do that. It's really unhealthy. And you're just like, oh, okay. It's like,
Yeah.
I've taken out lungs and stuff. Yesterday I was doing this, and I was just like, okay, no, I believe you, Mom. I won't do that. So.
Yeah, but I mean, they've also seen car accident victims, and I still drive a car every now and then. So, like, you're gonna die either way. I'm just gonna have fun living my life the way I want until I do.
Well, I got airbags and stuff and seatbelts.
They don't work.
They do.
No, you're just driving a coffin.
That's not true.
Just like Rob Zombie.
Okay.
That seems like
What?
something he would drive. A coffin.
Just a coffin.
Well, he had the Dragula in that game, Twisted Metal 4, I think?
He's a playable character in there.
Yeah, and he drives the Dragula.
Okay. I guess that fits.
Yeah, it's a dragster, I guess. I can't remember. I think it even is a coffin. I can't remember. That came out a long time ago. Anyways, I'm just going to get a little bit more back on the topic. Edmonton Expo is happening October 20th and 21st.
Mm-hmm.
I will be there for sure. I don't know if you are, or like other people don't really care. I'll probably cover it because I covered the Calgary Expo in probably not such a good light, and it got the attention of a lot of people, including the owners of the expo, like the runners of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like for them to prove themselves with this Edmonton Expo thing, and then I could write something great about them. That would make me feel good, because I do like what they're doing, especially for Alberta and the con culture in general in Canada.
Yeah.
So, like,
But the way they were handling those crowds and stuff was just...
it wasn't even so much the crowd, because, like, as I was writing, that's fine, but they were blaming other people for their mistake. There's like, oh no, there was just too many people at one time. It's like, yeah, but you sold the tickets.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it wasn't our fault. We didn't know you would all come at the same time. It's like, well, you sold the tickets. You should have assumed they would all come at the same time.
Right.
It's a non-issue anymore. It happened. Adam West and Billy D. Williams are the only guests so far announced.
Okay.
I'll probably be going more for the exhibitors and artists, though. Do some shopping for, like, art and stuff like that. Maybe see some old people from ACAD, Alberta College of Art and Design, for anyone not living here. Anyways, if you're in the Edmonton or Calgary area, you should probably go. Like, support those guys. It's only, what, $40 for the weekend? It's pretty good. Get out and see your fellow artists and geeks and whatever other weird people are out there. Probably cosplayers are going to be there. That'll be great.
I'm hoping there's Edmontonian pony folk, but I'm not sure how big of a scene it is up there. I'll find out firsthand. October.
Right.
Okay.
My monitor just turned off.
Weird.
Yeah.
Alright.
But you can still hear me.
Yeah, I can.
And as long as you can still hear me, that means that we're still recording.
Yay.
So, do you have any questions?
Like, questions to... Like, do I have questions for you, or questions for us? Oh, okay.
Both.
Oh, wait.
You actually do have a question for me?
Yeah, what's all this about Columbine, yo?
Oh, I woke up and wanted to look some stuff up on Columbine.
What made that happen? Like, just like...
I was listening...
shootings and stuff.
I went on to YouTube.
Yeah.
It's a pretty popular video sharing site.
I think it's the third most popular website on the internet.
Was it third?
Yeah.
Okay. Like right behind Facebook and Google?
Yeah. And Google owns YouTube, so...
And I mean, Pixel Response is catching up, so watch out.
Just watch your backs.
20 million more ranks to go.
Yeah. Losing all them stocks, like... Facebook's gonna plummet off the face of the earth pretty soon.
And MySpace is gonna make a return?
Actually, yeah, I didn't check where MySpace was. I wonder where it is. Anyway, okay.
So, I woke up, and the first thing I looked up on YouTube were 911 calls. And I found some 911 calls from the Twin Towers going down.
Oh, okay.
So I started there, and then I found some 911 calls about the Trayvon Martin shooting or whatever.
Oh, like the neighborhood watch thing that happened recently?
I think so, like the call that came out where someone had called about an altercation going on outside, and you can hear Trayvon yelling for help, and then you hear like a bunch of gunshots.
Okay.
And then that devolved into some Columbine stuff, because Columbine 911 call, which devolved into more Columbine stuff, like that final report that BBC, I think, did, or whoever the final report is with.
Okay.
So I went to that, and then I reread some of the Eric Harris diaries that they didn't officially release but leaked onto the internet, because they were on the internet to begin with, and then they took them down, but, nothing goes away from the internet. Once it's up, someone usually, downloads it or something. So those got leaked again, was reading those, watching people talk that were students there about some stuff that went down, watched some crime scene stuff, and it showed the library with blood stains all over from their shooting and stuff like that. And then that went to Holocaust stuff and Auschwitz and people denying that it ever happened, and then me saying, well, there's clearly a lot of evidence and accounts of the Holocaust actually happening. So what you're saying is ridiculous, but I'll still listen to you. And then I did, and then I'm like, no, you're an idiot, so I turned that off. And that was it. That was my YouTube experience, I guess.
Oh, so this was all YouTube stuff. I thought it was, looking into the media fallout stuff around Columbine or whatever.
What do you mean?
Well, just how everyone started blaming all sorts of other factors on it.
Well, no, that was part of it, because that was part of, the news reports and stuff I was watching.
Oh, right. It's so, video games, are they causing people to shoot other people? Seems that way, based on me and my perception of it. Fox News, something like that. That kind of stuff.
Yep.
But, okay. I guess, has the same weird spin doctory business happened with Aurora, or is that already over? The media moves too fast nowadays, and we're already over that. As a people.
We're probably already over that as a people.
I guess the
people
court stuff was still happening in, the tabloids and
Like,
whatever.
I have received some shit about talking about Aurora already.
Which we talked about, yeah.
A couple times, actually, too.
Oh, more than that?
Yeah,
Okay.
but they were fine. It was just people being idiots, as usual. The one guy that I somewhat apologized to for offending him, but not for what I said. I actually felt a little bit bad about saying what I did, and not more than anything, not qualifying what I said, which is a big part about conversation, is that if you're going to say something, like, outlandish, you should qualify with what you mean.
Yeah.
And I didn't do a good job of that, and that was my bad, so that's why I apologize for offending him. But in light of the Aurora thing, I'm just going to say one more thing about it. I don't think it was as bad as Columbine was. Because, like, Columbine was, like, watching stuff on it again and, like, hearing some stuff about it. Like, it was pretty messed up, dude.
Like, you mean this, like, the stuff that was happening with the kids beforehand and whatever, or?
Well, I mean, that stuff, like, they were just psycho. Like,
okay.
they were, like, they had friends. There's videos of them talking to people and, like, being social. Like, they were just messed up. They had anger issues and, like, they got arrested for a year prior to Columbine because they had broken into a van or something, and that's actually when Eric started his journal and started becoming really weird.
Okay.
Because, like, they were arrested and, like, he had to do some stuff or whatever, and it seemed like that was a triggering point in his brain that is like, oh no, this is all bullshit. So, like, I don't know, they were just messed up, and the fact that there's people out there saying, oh no, it's due to bullying, they were victims, that's fucking bullshit. Because, like, I was bullied by people, too, growing up, and never once in my mind did I think I'm gonna come to school with a shotgun and kill everybody.
Right.
I don't know. It's just a weird thing.
Yeah, now I'm just thinking back, like, there was some weird trickle-down of that stuff, like, those fears and paranoia, like, in my school. Like, we all got interviewed about this one kid in our class who was being bullied a lot, and he ended up getting expelled.
Okay.
Which is weird, because, like, it's like... Well,
it should be the other way around.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I've also been harassed by this kid, this kid, this kid, and this kid. Those guys are fine, you know? Like, that's not a problem. The kid who was really angry because he was getting pushed around for a while, that guy's not safe anymore. Like, it was really weird.
I don't believe in, like, coincidence, really, or, like, astrology or anything like that. But, like, was there just something weird with 1999? Because that's when the school I was going to had a bunch of suicides. And
I'm wondering if it's, like, looking back, like, if it's, like, some weird, irrational, like, millennial fears. Would that be a factor?
Like, freaking everybody out?
Like, I mean, this year has kind of got that whole Mayan calendar thing. Like, I'm curious if anyone out there is acting really silly because of that stuff. Like, is anyone actually terrified?
I'm not.
Like, and there was that atmosphere kind of building up to 1999 where it's like, or 2000, where it's like, dude, the Y2K, the fallout's just, it's about to happen. All computers are going to crash. Please buy my book and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it was, yeah, I guess it was kind of a weird time. Like, I was like 12, so my primary concerns were like, oh man, what was coming out in 99?
Well, I'm going to say one thing also about the Columbine stuff.
Yeah.
I had written a short story that I actually got sent to the counselor about that year, too. Like, the whole Columbine thing really made it weird, especially, I mean, you probably know this, in a Christian school.
Yeah.
They're already kind of, like, antsy about stuff, and they don't really like a lot of free thought. Or, like, radical ideas. And I wrote a weird story about, like, demons possessing people in the school. And it had nothing to do with, like, being bullied or anything, but, like, from that story, I was actually sent to the counselor and had to, like, do psychiatric evaluation and all that. So, like, I guess I personally felt some of the influence of Columbine, which is maybe why I'm a little bit drawn to it, because I was actually labeled a threat for a while.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because, like, I had never really thought about killing people in my classmates. Like, people in my classes or anything like that. But then after, like, the evaluation and stuff, I started thinking, like, well, it would be really easy. Not that I would do it, but, like, I was thinking a little bit more about it. It's like, no, if I wanted to, like, do stuff, I'd probably just put stuff here and do this, and so, like, it's kind of, it had a weird effect on me because I started thinking that way, because they were asking me weird questions about, like, wanting to hurt people,
Right.
So
So it's like, yeah, there was some preliminary kind of evaluation stuff I did, mainly because I was just interested in psychology, but I was also pretty depressed in junior high.
hmm
And yeah, it's just like, just like, do you
once
hear
they
voices
start,
and all this stuff? And it's just like, what? I'd never even thought that was a real thing, but okay.
but it's weird because once they put that seed in your mind, like
Yeah.
you actually start thinking that way a little bit because you start getting into that mindset. It's like, well, there
Maybe
was
I
this
am.
there was this one time I was trying to sleep and I thought I heard something. Like maybe I should try listening better.
Yeah, like
Maybe I am hearing stuff and I just don't know because I think it's people talking. What's going on? So
yeah, like it can almost create a weird little loop where it perpetuates problems on its own. It's like, yeah, I don't know, but I'm trying to think. Like I wrote some stories that were pretty, like, I basically wrote what amounts to an alien fan fiction
okay.
and submitted that as a story in like junior high, and nothing bad happened with it. But it was like all the stuff, second mouth comes out, punches a hole in the dude's head, and all that, and they were fine. This was also at Christian school.
My story had a part where there was students, because there was demons in the school running the school. There were students hanging from their intestines around their neck from the rafters of the gym.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
So, like, horror movie stuff.
Exactly, because that's what I was into growing up. And then we destroyed a house.
Okay.
1999 was a bad year.
I don't know.
Maybe I was just a shitty kid.
I'm like, nothing really. Well, wait, what? 99. I might have been in grade 6, which was my worst year.
I was in grade 7.
So, I just remember, like, I at one point did get taken, like, was talking to the principal about just being bullied and such, and he brought up the kid in Sixth Sense as an example for me to think about. So that movie must have been somewhat current.
Okay.
So that might have been, yeah, like
that
early
was 99,
2000.
right?
That would have been early 2000 at that point.
Early 2000.
Yeah, that movie came out that fall or whatever, or that summer maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, something like that. So I guess that was kind of a bad patch of my life too, but for different reasons.
Yeah, then that's when the drugs started and all that sort of thing.
There you go.
So I guess what I'm saying is Columbine ruined my life.
Or maybe just don't put your kids in religious schools. I don't know.
Or, like, find a school with good, reputable teachers. I had shitty teachers. Like, anybody following me on Twitter got a few of those stories. When, like, every now and then I get a little retrospective, I start typing stuff about my life.
Yeah.
And, like, I've always thought I had a boring life, and it's like, oh, no one would want to read about my life. And then, I start thinking about stuff and typing them, and people are just like, then what happened? And, like, asking me stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, wow. So, like, shit actually happened to me, I guess. I'm a person. Weird.
It's like, oh, that was just my day-to-day. I thought all teachers were...
I thought all teachers verbally harassed someone until they cried, then kicked their desk and physically abused kids.
No. That probably shouldn't be happening. Like,
yeah. Or another teacher had a breakdown and started crying in the middle of class and ran out.
I've seen that happen.
Yep.
But
he had post-traumatic stress disorder because he was in the army.
Okay, no, that was not a factor.
So, Christian schools, don't do it.
Yeah, maybe don't do that. And, governments, don't fund them either. You're not helping. Tax them, all of it. Tax churches, do it.
But, like, religion was my best class. I had that shit on lockdown.
It's pretty easy to figure out what to say and not to, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of just coming off a conversation about some of that stuff. There's just been confusion about the whole divorce situation from other family members is starting to creep up. It's just
we don't have to talk about that on air if you don't want.
It's not a big deal, but I guess, sure. It's just not, it's very inside baseball. So it's just like, you guys know my grandma, right? No.
Like, even I don't.
Yeah, so. Exactly. So it would make no sense to anybody. So yeah, we don't need to talk about that. I do have one question from the Twitter.
Okay. It looks like I have 2.
Okay. This one's from long-time listener Sean.
Oh, yeah. I know that guy.
Yeah. This is a question I've had conversations with about, like, with actually, who should be Mary Jane in Amazing Spider-Man 2? It's a curious dilemma,
Emma
though,
Stone.
if you think about it. Exactly, but it can't be, because she's already Gwen Stacy. So who do you
Yeah,
get that's more charming than Emma Stone?
Oh, okay.
Emma Watson.
No, not that. Probably make it set 20
She's
years.
a bit younger.
Make it set 20 years in the future and get Christina Hendricks in it.
Okay, so 40-year-old Christina Hendricks is there.
Yeah. But it's set 20 years in the future, so they're like 30-something.
So we just scrap all of this stuff they've built up.
Just for her.
Just to cast Christina Hendricks.
Worth it.
Okay. I don't think she's a natural redhead either.
Probably not.
Which is like a weird trend that seems to be happening, because, yeah, Emma Stone also. I don't know. I'm actually not, but like you dismissed it pretty rapidly, but Emma Watson's not a bad choice. I don't know who else you'd do that really, like, they have to be a bit younger, maybe?
Like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen Amazing Spider-Man yet, so how old are they roughly?
Like high school? Late high school?
So you need someone that could pull off
Like,
a high school look.
Yeah, like, Emma Stone's character is 17, despite her being 25 or thereabouts.
Okay, so you need someone under 30, best case scenario.
So Christina Hendricks is 37 right now.
So, like, Charlize Theron, probably too old.
40. Yeah, way too old. What are you even talking about? Halle Berry. That's an actress.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, that's a random girl.
She's an actress. Make her hair red. Done. Don't do that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think who's reasonably talented,
Like
young.
Chloe Moretz. She doesn't have a Mary Jane look though.
And like at that point, you're getting into that weird thing where it's like she's actually like 16, 17, and Andrew Garfield's 27 or whatever. It's just like, I don't know.
Weirder things have happened though.
Weirder things have happened on screen too. Like if you've seen Lovely Bones, like that romance in that movie seems really creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like how old's Saoirse Ronan or whatever couldn't really pull that off. Like I'm also thinking of like Mary Jane, and who has that kind of moxie and pizzazz.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a specific thing. Who was I thinking of though? There was. Okay, so Ronan's 18, but still that's not the right person. She's like intense in a way, you know, like angry.
Angry?
A little bit, or no, not quite overtly angry, but like if she breaks necks and stuff in Hannah, and you're just like, yeah, that makes sense. She could do that if she wanted to.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she could probably play 18 years old, maybe 20-ish.
Actually, yeah, I was thinking about Scott Pilgrim, but not. I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead, so maybe. But there was who played that former girlfriend. She was also
Which
in 20.
Former one?
Like the one in the band and everything.
Kim?
No,
the
not
drummer?
Kim. No, not Kim. That's Alison Pill. She's
yeah.
Oh, what's her name?
What band?
The one Brandon Routh is in and everything.
Oh, okay.
Envy Adams, like who played Envy?
Envy Adams. I'm just trying to get a picture of her in my head right now. It's actually been a little bit since I've seen that movie, so.
I'm just looking at the cast right now. I'm just thinking like she's less a visible person, so she could blend into that cast.
That's
really
Brie Larson, I think. No? It's not?
You might be right. I don't.
Okay. You're looking at the cast list.
It's Brie Larson.
Okay.
Maybe.
No, she doesn't have. Like, Mary Jane's supposed to be like the hot girl.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't. She has like that hot girl next door look. Brie Larson.
Yeah.
So that's not good enough.
What do you mean?
That's not good enough for Mary Jane. Her look doesn't fit to me at all. So
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying it's probably a bad choice for age. I'm saying it's a bad choice for me.
Okay. I don't have strong feelings on who plays Mary Jane, really, in terms of the comic book characters, so cast someone good. I don't know.
Yeah, like, maybe that could be the kickstart to someone's career.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe just do open casting calls. Like, oh man, crazy.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
Who
a
would've
natural
thought?
redhead? That'd be pretty weird to see
Yeah,
again.
go outside the box on that. Okay.
Okay, so I got a question here from
Yeah.
Will I Ain't or at Nematographer.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Nematographer on Twitter. Why do backlogs exist? Why can't we just pause time and finish our games and go on with our lives?
You know, I wish the clock stoppers technology did exist.
Yeah.
For PAX reasons too, because you could just go to all your panels and just.
But like, what if you stop time and then you stopped everything else? You're the only one that can move.
Well, you still get to kind of go around and see what's there and then make notes and stuff.
But what about,
What
you wouldn't be able to see panels because no one would be putting them on.
Right, it would be frozen in time.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like, but yeah, you just pop in each room and be like, oh wow, this one looks crazy. Resume time. Oh no, this is kind of pause, leave. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, you still couldn't do everything. You kind of need that magic spell from Prisoner of Azkaban, where Hermione can attend all of her classes.
No idea.
All right.
I haven't seen any Harry Potter.
The vast majority of people listening know what I'm talking about. You know how Hermione in that one was able to attend 2 classes at the same time because she has that weird time spell, and then they use it later in the book to kind of go and undo some stuff? Yeah, like that. Prisoner of Azkaban in theaters now. Actually, it's not. Alfonso Cuarón, though. It's a good movie.
I do own that movie.
Why do you own these movies if you don't watch them?
Because I don't really care about Harry Potter.
That's fair, but like some of it's okay. There's some good things.
See, the thing is, I actually want to see like the last couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
6 is real good.
by last couple, I don't mean just like 7 part 1 and 2. I mean like 5, 6, 7. Like when he's older.
5's kind of
Is it?
Okay.
I just don't want to go through like the child years. I don't want to go 1 to 5, I guess now, because 5's meh. So that's the problem I'm having, is that I have to get through like 10 hours before I get to the stuff I want.
Yeah, I don't have strong affection for those, but there's little flares of things in them. It's like, wow, Alan Rickman was really great and stuff like that. So
I do like Alan Rickman. Hans
Yeah,
Gruber is my favorite guy ever.
you get some good Alan Rickman in there. And yeah, like that Quran movie, the Prisoner of Azkaban, is pretty sweet. And that's one of the earlier ones. So maybe just skip the Columbus movies.
Okay.
They're kind of just pretty generic kid stuff.
Great. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I don't want.
Yeah. I mean, John Cleese is in it briefly, so it's got that.
That's pretty good, I guess.
And that bombastic John Williams song and everything, but yeah, I don't go back to those really. Like, I think I own 3 of them, but that was more just like aggressive gifting from Ryan resulted in me owning them. It's just like, Harry Potter's great, Nathan. Here you go. And you're just like, okay. So yeah, now I have some of those movies, but normally speaking, I'd probably be totally content seeing them the one time on the big screen with the big splashy effects and everything, and then just moving on. But
I was planning, like, when I bought those movies, because I was on a kick where, like, no, I'm going to get through all of these so I can see part 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh, dude, that's an 18-hour weekend of just Harry Potter. There's no way I'm doing this after I had bought 5 of them.
Yeah.
So I was
Matt
like,
Rory did that awesome Crash Course thing. I don't know if you remember.
I don't. I'll have to check into that.
Yeah, he watched all of them, I think, in like 48 hours.
That sucks. That's what I was planning to do, but then I realized, oh, that's the worst idea ever if I'm not into it.
Yeah. Like, I gotta force it. I heard these are great. And then, yeah, don't do that.
Because then, like, after the first one, you're just like, that wasn't too good, but alright. And then you're just like, oh, I have 5 more to get through.
I guess, wait, though. Okay, just back to taking it seriously, like the backlog. Don't be afraid if you're not liking a game. Don't play it.
Yeah.
I kind of do that. Like, I'm going through my collection now and making the hard decisions of just like, will I realistically ever play NHL 2K6 ever again? No, I won't. Get out of here. Like, they're almost garbage at some point. Like, games are in this weird early state right now where there's a lot of them, but like maybe 10% have lasting value.
Right.
In terms of any
like
kind
Def Jam Icon.
like Def Jam Icon, you know? It's like a music visualizer fighting game. Like, that's crazy.
And when you hit your opponent, the whole, like, stage starts shaking and your song of the guy you're playing starts playing louder.
Yeah, and, like, you're stomping and giant shockwaves and stuff. Like, obviously you keep that game. But then stuff like, you know, Call of Duty, throw that away. Throw it in the trash barrel. You don't need it.
Call of Duty actually has lasting appeal to those who actually care about it, though.
The multiplayer?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are still playing that.
Just heads up, those servers will go down one day. So, watch out. You know, don't get too invested in it. It's like, I prestiged 47 times. It's like, no, you didn't. I don't know. That record is gone. No one cares.
Yeah, like people on Halo 2 or whatever. They're just like, oh man, my kill-death ratio is so good. Oh no!
Yeah, turning all those machines off. I still admired, like, when original Xbox Live went down, how long some dudes kept it going.
Yeah.
Like,
Wasn't
that was
it like
impressive.
a couple weeks?
Oh, yeah, it was so long. And I think it was literally just, like, our systems overheated and had to turn off, or, like, my power went out. Like, stuff like that was, like, ending Xbox Live slowly, system by system.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hats off to those heroes of the internet space.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just generally, though, like, backlog stuff, they just don't, you know, like, yeah, there's games I've purchased and stuff where it's just like, am I ever going to play Xenosaga Episode 1 for PS2? No, probably not. Like, I'm sure someone has made a better JRPG since then, so I just won't worry about it.
I'm in a position right now where I am really fond of what PlayStation Plus is doing. I would rather pay a service, like, a year to be able to just kind of essentially rent a game or, like, own a game for as long as I need to play it and, like, replay it if I want.
Yeah.
And then just delete it from my hard drive.
Right. There's a certain temporal thing to games in general. Like, there's exceptions, like we talked about Day of the Tentacle earlier and stuff like that, and I still think...
And Resident Evil 1.
Stuff, you know, in some way, yeah, maybe. I'm glad they did that remake, though. Like, they put a coat of paint on it and everything, and I could really enjoy it.
Right.
Because I didn't have that nostalgic layer to it. So, I'm all about HD remakes and all that stuff. Like, I think the best stuff, like, will make sure you'll get another shot at that stuff. And the kind of chaff will go away. But sometimes that's not true. Sometimes there's weird licensing things that prevent games from being re-released, so...
And if this whole Google, like, amazing internet catches on, and, like, the whole world gets it eventually, we'll never see a disc-based game again.
I can't wait, dude.
Because we'll be able to download a whole, like, 3 discs worth of games in maybe an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the time if, like, you don't drive to get on a bus, go to your video store, pick it up, and then take a bus back.
There you go. Future. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm just looking at my shelves now, and also thinking through Kijiji sales that haven't really been going through.
Oh yeah, I still gotta get Naruto from you.
Yeah, I gotta lower my prices on all that stuff too. Like I don't care so much about getting a good price for it. It's just like, do you want things? Here's 2 human. Like, it's $1.
I do like 2 human.
Okay, do you have it?
No.
Do you want it?
Sure.
Done. Deals happening live on the show.
Making deals on the internet.
Yeah, what's the next question?
Last question. Wasted Kitten on Twitter, @WastedKitten, spelled exactly how it sounds. What is the most frustratingly bad game we have both played?
Okay. I thought it's like, I don't know what games you've played, Wasted Kitten. I can't help you.
No, like you. He says you have both played, but you and me.
Yeah, exactly.
Played. So,
frustratingly bad.
Dragon Age 2?
I didn't actually end up playing Dragon Age 2 because I didn't like Dragon Age 1.
I don't know if he was asking, like, both of us have played it.
Or like we both have to have played it in order for it to qualify?
I don't know if that's what he's asking.
That's probably not what he means, but okay, so Dragon Age 2 is fair. Frustratingly bad. Like, I keep coming back to it as more of like a disappointment thing, but I really just didn't like the mechanics of Brutal Legend. Like, despite everything I've been saying about Double Fine and stuff, I really didn't like that game. I just didn't get engaged in it in the same way, and I'm glad that game kind of led them to go back to smaller ideas and doing that stuff, because I think it's some of their better work has come out of that, like Costume Quest and stacking and all that stuff was way more interesting to me. than that game ever was. Like, I still haven't beaten it.
Maybe Assassin's Creed?
Nah, like, I didn't... Like, no, like, I wouldn't say they're bad. They're just not interesting. Like, and that's not an all-inclusive statement. I feel like I was really confused by how many nice things people were saying about Brotherhood, specifically.
Right.
Because, like... All the time leading up to it, I was like, oh, well, it's like a weird kind of half-step game. I don't want that. Like, like, get Ezio out of here. Like, who cares? But then all the reviews started hitting, and people were like, no, dude, they totally justified this game's existence. It's amazing. It's way better than 2. It's so good. 9.9. Like, buy it right now. Blah. And then I was like, okay. And then I went out and bought it, and it was just like, this is, like, iterative at best. Like, they threw in some more stuff, bolted on some kind of cool ideas, like you controlling, like, sending dudes on missions and stuff. But largely it was the same, and nothing that interesting happened in the story, and I was just like, what are you guys talking about? But that was not, like, frustratingly bad. It was just very generic and exactly as you'd expect, which I didn't want. I wanted something different.
Well, I didn't expect Assassin's Creed 1 to be frustratingly bad, but it was.
Yeah. It's like something about, like, yeah, just the hype machine that can happen. Like, it kind of like, these weird self-fulfilling prophecies that happen. Like, if you say a game is going to be awesome enough times, eventually everyone just kind of believes it.
Yep.
It's just like, yeah, like, looking at those Heavy Rain reviews again, like, it's just like 99 critics said, this is really, really great. And you don't usually get that kind of homogenous opinion in other things, like movies. It rarely happens. Like, it's like 100% everyone liked it. Like, Pixar for a while there was getting close, and I thought that was kind of silly, but like, there was still a few dissenting opinions in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know.
L.A. Noire for me.
Okay.
It was just frustratingly bad because I wanted to, like, the idea of it is so good in my mind. It didn't meet any expectation I thought that Rockstar could do with that content.
Yeah.
Like, it was fine at first, and then it just kind of, maybe not frustratingly bad. It's frustrating.
Like, yeah, I'm kind of combining the two things. Like, frustrating... I was more frustrated with Brutal Legend because, again, like, yeah, I had expectations based on who was making it and all this stuff, and then it just kind of let me down.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't, like a bad game would be like, wow, this is just broken. Like, it just doesn't work or something. Like, that's kind of two different
I'm going to say Diablo 3 as well, because I wanted so badly to love it.
Yeah.
Def Jam Rap Star.
Because, but we just said...
Because the track listing.
Okay.
No, it's just frustrating because, like, the mechanics and ecosystem is there. They just didn't capitalize on it with good songs.
Yeah, and that game failed pretty badly.
I mean, I want to rap at my TV.
Yeah, who doesn't? Let's see. Oh, wait, Def Jam Rap Star.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we're not talking about Icon.
No,
anymore.
Rap Star.
Okay.
Oh, you got it mixed up in your mind for a second.
With Icon, yeah. I was like, we were just talking about Icon and how it was kind of fun.
No, Icon's great.
I wasn't good at Icon.
I don't think anybody is. It's hard.
Yeah, I was doing so poorly, but I liked some ideas in it. But, yeah.
Like, the first guy you fight in the game, like, the story mode is a bouncer, and he just, like, kicks your ass.
Yeah. I was maybe being a bit facetious earlier, too. I didn't love that game.
It's okay.
Okay. Kudo. Sonoda. Loved it.
Okay.
Bam. There it is. I think that's for questions.
On that note...
Yeah.
So, a weird thing has happened. We're no longer the Media Monks.
Yeah, no.
Which is why we didn't say that at the beginning. Mm-hmm. So that Movie Monks at Gmail and the Media Monks on Twitter, don't do that.
Okay.
Follow Pixel Response on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just send everything there now. Stitcher, now you search Pixel Response, it's still there. And all our Media Monks and Movie Monks stuff is still on there too. It's just under we're starting over here so we don't get sued or something bad happening to us.
Down the road, yeah.
Things are going to be changing a little bit. We're going to be changing podcast hosting, and the site's probably going to be changing. Not going to give a timeline on that because I'm busy with, like, other stuff. and I'm not proficient at coding, so I take things probably at like 10 times the speed it would take someone that is.
Okay.
So, not going to give a time on that, but basically, eventually you will be sending stuff to podcast@pixel-response.com, or to us separately, it'll be paul@pixel-response.com, and Nathan and some other people that might be interested in becoming a thing with us now. So, like, that's going to be happening. Until that gets all official, though, just Twitter. That's the only real way. And Facebook. Facebook, just look up Pixel Response. We still need some more likes, guys. More likes will get us, so it's just facebook.com/Pixel Response. But until we get, I think, a couple more. We've been getting more lately now. People have been coming in a little bit slowly. But yeah, until we get that, you're going to have to look up Pixel Response on Facebook, and then like us, and then it'll be easier for you, and we'll love you. So there you go. But as always, http://pixel-response.com for more from us, and we will try to be writing more. I know it's been a drought, but that digital digression we did on Slender got like 200 to 300 hits instantly that day in the first hour. And it's continuously the highest searched thing on our page.
People are talking about Slender, I guess.
So, like, we should probably
9.4 forever, though, son.
We should probably be writing more. So,
I gotta play Darksiders, dude.
You gotta play Darksiders. I gotta smoke, I guess. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, we should do digital digressions on lung cancer.
Should we?
I don't know. I was being kind of mean. I'm sorry, Paul.
It's fine.
Hope you don't die.
I hope I do.
Oh, this is horrible.
I hope I die just to spite you now.
Oh, we should write about pessimism versus optimism and why I'm right.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's probably a thing we should write about. How the world's actually fine. Everyone should relax.
It's not.
Self-fulfilling problems.
No, the world is not alright.
7 billion people are still here.
Unfortunately.
Grumpy Gus.
More people need to smoke.
Monastery is closed. See you guys later.
We can't do that anymore.
It's still a monastery.
Bye.
Still here. Oh.